My name is Daryl.
My name is Robert.
And we've seen Twilight.
As a white Puerto Rican who has dealt with smelly girls, I can understand Edward Cullen's plight. This Instagram filter of a movie is suited for background sex, background chores, and overall background sound. Is Bella a red flag? Yes. Is Edward Cullen a Yes. Do they love each other? Yes. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now.
Look, do not take the following as a pun, okay? Don't even think about it. It would give too much credit to this movie. This movie sucks. I'm not here to rain on y'all's parade because I know you got your first OTPHJs watching this. But hey, Mambo Italiano, what a stinker. One episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, pick one, is better than this whole movie.
That's how you feel?
More than that.
And you know, I hope you guys feel like liking and subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate it. It helps. That's how the algorithm goes. You like, you subscribe, you comment, that shit goes out. So please, tell us how you feel about Twilight, because Daryl obviously feels a certain type of way.
It's simpler than giving an unhoused individual money these days, and think about how tough it feels when you can't give money to an unhoused individual. You can just like and subscribe to our channel and have done that in some small way. Yeah, basically the same act, right?
Acts of service.
You know, actually, this movie was originally called Dusk, and then I sued them into oblivion.
You got this in a journal somewhere?
Yeah, no, like, the files, the affidavits, I'll put them.
You saw this in Buffy?
Yeah, look. Everybody's seen this movie on planet Earth except for me. I was telling him, and the homie, off screen. Thank Christ. And by the way, keep it that way.
There's 5 of them, 4 movies. 4 books, 5 movies.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I did see the 4th movie, assuming that's the last one, with my girl at the time, because she was into the series. No context. In the movie theater, and this is the story I love telling,
really
people
funny.
were running up and down the aisles. I've never seen that in any movie, an Avengers movie. You know, we've seen all the Marvel movies and shit in the theaters. People get very excited.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people up and down the aisle.
I've only ever seen that in a Scream movie. And I mean not me watching a Scream movie, but like actually
plugging his own reel.
In the Scream movie, dumb walling out watching a movie.
Oh, you mean the black people.
So this is a really new entry into vampire lore. And more than this movie being bad when it originally came out, because obviously there's fucking 5 movies. Everybody was running to this. It was based on a best-selling book. So people were like on top of this. But one of the main reasons that I remember when this movie came out, that people shitted on this movie, was they were shining when they were in the sun. Right?
Shine bright like a diamond.
So instead of like a usual vampire burning away, these motherfuckers shine bright like a diamond.
Right.
So it brings it to the thoughts of just like, all right, this author, Stephanie Meyer, I think her name is, she took the liberties with a lot of...
Unmemorable name.
A very basic name. She took the liberties with a lot of vampire lore.
Yeah, twisting around vampire lore. Yes, that's the whole thing.
And you see that throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where she just changes vampire lore, like she takes the liberties with it. So it makes you think, what characteristics do you want in a vampire?
Yeah.
If
you know us, we're always doing a create a character. So what's going to be our vampire? What are the rules attached to our particular vampire? Right? I think that's the basic thing. You have any in mind already? I haven't done, I feel like I could do this real quick, like an ad lib. So
do it for me, inspire me.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, please.
I like we'll start with the siren. I sound like such a vampire nerd, right? I like a traditional, you bite the person, right? But they also have to drink your blood. That makes them a vampire. Okay, I like that because it doesn't make random like werewolves where like if you're bit by a werewolf, you become a werewolf, right?
And that's how they are in this movie. They're like, I guess
like
you
werewolf
could compare
rules.
it to, werewolf rules compared to like a snake.
Komodo dragon.
Yeah, because they say the bite is like venom. That's how they describe it in the movie. Yeah. So yeah.
So I like that. I like the sun. The sunlight thing is, you got to think about vampires. And I'll give you mine. Super strength, speed.
They're OP.
Oh yeah, invulnerable to attacks. You heal like Wolverine type shit, right?
Yep.
For those, you need a weakness. You need a kryptonite.
Yeah, you need a kryptonite.
So the sunlight thing is, I think, a good trade-off. You could just do whatever the fuck you want at night. Do what you got to do at night. The freaks come out at night.
No, that's the thing where like I started thinking about like, all right, these vampires suck, but also that one thing makes them kind of overpowered.
Right.
Because now they're like what every vampire kind of searches for.
Right.
They don't die. Like if we were thinking about like the vampires that we know that burn in the sunlight or whatever, they're like, if they had the ability to be in the sunlight, they're causing havoc. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're fucking...
Again, OP, you said it.
They're fucking shit up.
OP.
And the fact that it doesn't even matter that, like, they're in the sun...
They could just be out there, yeah. There's nothing stopping Edward Cullen from just massacring the entire high school.
What would make more sense to me... Like, I know we're supposed to be talking about abilities, but, like, fuck their abilities. Like, what would be more interesting to me if it was, like, Medusa. Where like in the sun they started becoming into stone because then like the diamond type quality that they like
but they stay like that,
but yeah they like gargoyle type shit,
sure,
where like in the sunlight if they get hit,
well maybe there's a possibility that they're coming back then. That's what I'm wondering about, just from a supernatural perspective.
That's how I wish it was. I don't know if that's the actual lore for them, but
look at us doing so much work to make this movie interesting. It's so bad that we're just like, look at this, how we can make it. So your guy goes to stone.
Yeah, if I wanted to like die, the whole burning shit is crazy, but it would be better if like I turned into stone instead and I was like a gargoyle.
Right.
That shit would be kind of fire.
Can you get stake to the heart? Where we land on stake to the heart?
No, you can't kill this vampire.
I'm going traditional stake to the heart, but hilarious rules like I love that it has to be exactly the heart.
Yeah.
Like you can't be a centimeter off to the left of the centimeter to the right, and I would have been dead. Garlic. Where do you land on garlic?
Garlic, I love garlic. I can't give up garlic.
I'm with you on that one.
There's no way.
I'm with you on that. For the sake of pizza and Italian food, right? Yeah. Hey, mambo!
Yes, huh? What about cross?
Very important question. I got a cross tattoo.
Does your finger fall off?
Yeah. I become a vampire and instantly my finger falls off? Whoa.
Just burns off. Serious.
I'm okay with cross because it implies that the vampire thing is like... based on religion, like it comes from, you know what I'm saying?
Because
like,
it's supposed to be like a curse.
Right. Exactly. Curses work is just that way. Okay, so I got to lose the finger. That's all.
Lose a finger.
I just lose a finger.
It's an important finger.
What are the other ones? Holy water.
Holy water. I mean, if we're going yes with the cross, I think we also have to go yes.
So
with the
it has to
water.
be consecrated by a priest.
I think we both agree that it's a it's a demon.
Yes,
curse.
that's the way magic works. Yes,
I think that.
So your guy also.
Okay, cool.
Any other weird things that your guy? Because I could think of some.
I mean, with the whole biting thing, I really do like because with True Blood, right? They have to, I think, bury the motherfucker, right?
Oh, that I do like that.
And that's the same with Interview with a Vampire. I think they also have to be buried.
Okay, so I can't believe we didn't see that, by the way.
I've seen the show.
This guy.
I've seen the movie. I just like vampires, to be honest with you.
Same, and we'll get into that.
That's really the only reason why I've ever watched all these movies.
Right.
Because what I ended up doing, I was just like, all right, I'm going to watch the Harry Potters, done it a million times. I'm going to watch all the Hunger Games. I'm going to watch all the Twilights.
All the young adult fiction. See, I didn't even have to bring it up later.
Because I'm just going to be
He knows.
I'm going to be like, what was it? Because I grew up in this time. And I was just like, what was it about these movies that people gravitated to heavily? Because the only one I truly ever gravitated to was Harry Potter.
Right.
The other ones are not that great.
Right.
At all, in any capacity.
Neither is Harry Potter. One more thing before we cut this off. My vampire would have...
to the fucking theme
This
parks.
is not a special ability, but it's a vampire ability that at least Dracula has. Some people do. I gotta be able to turn into bats, rats, or wolf at any given moment. I know it's OP.
You want to transform.
I want Dracula level powers. I love that he could just turn into a gang of rats or bats or a wolf.
Edward Cullen was given Dracula, or I guess Nosferatu.
Please.
With the whole, like, just looking at her in the bed. You know, the director was, or whoever framed that, the writer, was thinking about that when she made that scene. Of him
Save it for the second half.
Of him coming through the window and just looking over her on the bed. Come on, it was obviously a nod. It was very good.
Yeah, we'll get into this masterpiece on the second half, because I know Rob is dying too. Homie did his real job. He did his big one. He gave us a great point to think about. And I feel bad that it didn't occur to me. I'm a friend of the Yak, as anybody else.
You really do love the Yak.
I love the Yak. I'm a friend of the Yak. So, Muslim vampires.
Yeah. What curse is that?
Okay, but I guess the answer is simple as far as what works against them now that I'm thinking about it. Muslim, things that are haram. Things that are haram. Anything that's haram, twerking, You know. You got a Muslim vampire, you send in babe, you send in a pig.
Not garlic, you need pork.
Ramadan, right? They can't drink blood during the daytime, but no, but they can drink it at night. What the? No, that's the only time they can have it is.
But that's
what the fuck?
But maybe that's where the origin of the vampire came from.
Oh,
The freaks come
Ramadan
out
was
at
made
night.
because of that.
Yeah.
Because the religion was based on vampires.
You always think, you always think about
I like
Jesus
that.
serving the blood and the body.
You know, I do always think about Jesus.
Every time I wake up, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I tattooed a cross on my finger.
You pray. You wake up under your bed.
Speaking of Muslim vampires, before we talk about your thing, let's talk about the vampire canon. You were saying you think Blade is probably a Muslim. I'm inclined to agree.
I feel like
I'm inclined to. He's like Jay Electronica.
I've never seen him pray.
He preys on.
He might. I don't know.
On vampires. He preys on vampires.
If they all pray on their knees, so I'm not sure what the prayer does.
He preys on vampires. The other shit is people who know me. You know I fuck with Buffy. Some of you might even know that I'm watching it as we speak. I don't mean right now. That would be fucking crazy. But that's another one. That's an obvious one. That something like Twilight is really not holding a candle to. I think that's what I wanted to do. Just show how every other vampire property is better than Twilight.
Okay, yeah.
Buffy's incredible. Angel, the show, I guess it's not really a vampire show. It's more about other shit.
You know what movie I thought was better than this? Little Vampires.
Please, because you love this.
I think that's what the movie's called.
Little Vampires.
Right, that's what the movie's called, with the little kid that becomes friends with the two vampires.
Is this like a Disney movie?
This is
I'm not familiar.
It might be a Disney movie.
I'm not familiar.
It's like a 90s movie.
Sounds cool.
Children's movie. That movie is better than this movie.
You love Bronx Vampire by Eddie Murphy?
I think you love Bronx Vampire, right?
It's Brooklyn, but I was just editing the last episode and you said that, so I had that ammo on you. That was unfair of me to do, by the way. I'm sorry.
Didn't remember I even said that.
Yeah. But I mentioned Vampire Diaries. I saw one episode of it with a girl last year. It was exactly the premise of this. The whole movie was encapsulated in this one episode of Vampire Diaries.
No, for sure. Sinners is better than this.
Yes.
Sinners also brings
sure.
in the first time I've ever seen this in an actual movie, but it is kind of part of the lore. The hive mind of vampires.
I like that a lot.
That was really, really cool.
And the effects on their eyes and how they looked in the dark was super cool.
That was
very menacing.
You mentioned True Blood, another.
Let's get into that for a second.
That was fantastic until it wasn't.
You put me on that. And based on the theme song.
Yeah, the theme song.
Based on the theme, not even that it's a vampire show, that it's good. And I got into it because at first I was like, whatever, I'm not into the vampire shit. Probably because of Twilight, which I had not seen. And the show is great. Great show. I was hooked immediately. I fucking love it. Funny.
No, it's good.
Romantic, all the shit, drama, all
good
the stuff.
fantasy, good actors.
Pushes the vampire thing.
Heavily sexual.
Yeah. It pushes the lore though. You mentioned that you have to sire them by like digging up the dirt and all that.
No, they went to like according to like actual like known vampire lore. And then they went even into like the Lilith shit, which like Queen of the Damned type of crap.
Yeah, that's the Adam's first wife, and that she's a figure in a lot of dark mythology.
By that time it wasn't that great, but the actors were fantastic.
That season was good though. It really to me was the last season's. You guys watch it, you let us know if you feel differently about True Blood. They shit the bed in the last season and a half.
Yep.
Maybe the last 2 seasons, if I'm being completely honest. It's been a long time. But for a show that was like, I think about it all the time, like I'm gonna watch it again. It was so good. Maybe I'm with a shorty, we're gonna throw it on. Then I think about how much I hated those last seasons.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Game of Thrones. It's like, why would I even do it?
No, for me, when I rewatched Game of Thrones, it was really only the last season that I disliked. They fumbled that whole series.
Right. You've seen all the vampire shit. I think the strongest component of this movie is that you remember being a teenager in high school.
Yes.
The awkwardness of that, making friends, making romances and all that shit. Yeah.
The lunch table. Because they were chilling there a lot.
The segregation of a lunch table. Kristen Stewart has a first day of high school in this movie. She moves from her town to this town in the middle of a semester. Mm-hmm. There's the awkwardness of that, meeting people and shit like that. Can I be honest? It was very smooth. That's one of the things I hated about this movie. She didn't have a hard time at all.
Oh yeah, she barely got bullied. Bullied at all.
Yeah.
She was really just bullying herself throughout the whole movie.
Well, I think that we wanted to get into like, what was your introduction to high school like,
My intro to high school was perfectly fine.
Easy.
I was way too horny. For sure. I was a problem. I was an issue. And one thing that I can agree with Edward Cullen is that I couldn't deal with smelly girls. And that's one thing.
He could, by the way. I know this guy's history, but go on.
Nah, I had to ask him to leave politely.
Polite is nice.
No, you have to do it politely.
So she
Edward
was
Cullen
okay.
did
So
not
you
do it
had that.
politely.
So you had that same experience of like, okay, that was your hardship, is that there was a smelly girl around in high school.
There was a lot of them.
I will say, I have a funny thing because I was so bad in middle school academically that I got picked for like my 7th choice in my application, which happened to be like an hour away from home, and an all-black school. And, you know, I had grown up with every class and grade I had, I've known black people, I've been friends with black people, but this is the first time where I was the only not black person in the entire fucking school, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know why it was easy? Because I used to, back in the day, just like do some wild shit, like throw something out a window, or do some wild shit and endear everyone immediately, or just make joke about somebody's mom, or insult a teacher, you know, something like that, that would break the ice. They're like, oh, this guy's on the level. You know what I mean?
I remember one time me and this kid were just standing, like we were getting aggressive with each other, and we were like
turning into diamond form.
Yeah, we were getting into like a fight, and we just stood across from each other, choking each other. Like that was like the fight to see who would like suffocate first.
He's describing this with such an intricacy, like it's such a complex. It's like Krav Maga. He's talking about going like this to somebody's neck and choking them.
Yeah.
You're explaining it like it's Wing Chun. Like Ip Man. The hell? This guy's a psycho, bro. I remember when he was in high school, we were friends. He had a fight club. They had a fight club in the damn locker room. Shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah, that was an interesting.
Motherfuckers had guns in my high school. We were not playing no little bullshit in the. No, we did not have a. Also, we didn't have a.
Honestly, though, that era was a problem because I had gym first period, fucking the first thing in the morning, and it became an actual thing where like people would come up to me and be like, let's wrestle. It became a thing for like a sprint of a time where like it was
a rite of passage.
Like the first time was just like fun jokes, yada yada yada,
and then it became
but
Lord
then
of the Flies.
It became like a challenge.
Right.
Where I
Coliseum.
would just be at my locker and people would walk up to me and be like, let's do this.
Prison shit.
It was.
You know what? It was
crazy.
I gotta give you some credit here because I forgot, and we both went to this middle school, but you didn't have this particular experience probably. In MS-51, they were building the playground across the street for such a long time. There was a big ass dirt hill. I'm talking like 15 feet. Big ass dirt hill right across the street from. So we would show up early to school and play King of the Hill. In other words, we all just run to the fucking summit of this thing and do whatever the fuck you got to do to knock a motherfucker off. Broken arms, broken noses. This is the only time I really ever punched somebody in the face is because he, in the course of this shit, hit me in the nuts. Which, you know, everything is fair in this thing. The instinct to hit him in the face was just right there. And we both felt bad. It was like the homie.
I've never got in trouble for hitting somebody.
God bless. That has been that's on my big rap sheet.
there's one time that somebody was talking shit to me in school, and they walked away from me, and I ran up to them. I grabbed their head from behind and slammed their head into the door. There's another time.
Statute of limitations.
A different time where this kid was talking shit to me in the hallway, and I just punched him in the face. And he looked at me with such surprise that he just like couldn't understand what happened, and then I just walked away.
I think you got a memoir in you. I think you got like a read out loud memoir in front of people in you right there. Before this becomes DJ Vlad, because I think it is, this is becoming Vlad the Impaler TV right here. Speaking of A to B.
A to Z?
Speaking of A to B, what are you giving this?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm surprised that I saw this movie for a second time. But
I'm not. You loved it. Let me tell you, as we're watching it,
I had a good time.
He's breaking, again, the way he was just describing that little kid story, that was him talking about Robert Pattinson's acting decisions. I quote, I'm not letting you live, bro.
No, yeah.
I'm not letting you live. He was giving me shit for watching this movie. Let me tell you something. I'm like, I want to be able to shit on this movie because I know it's going to suck, and man, it delivered. But to see he loved it, bro.
It was good. I was just like, is Robert Pattinson making this decision, or is the director telling him to be this way? I had questions. And this is the type of movie where this isn't my first time watching it. So watching it for a second time and just like being like, why is this happening? It was fun.
I have a simple answer for that that'll go right into the score. Everybody who acted in this movie sucked. Kristen Stewart couldn't give a single shit about anything going on. Robert Pattinson was struggling with constipation. So was the other guy. The guy from Nurse Jackie plays a doctor. I love Nurse Jackie. He's a doctor in that. That guy's cool. The guy who's Mr. Terrific, he's great. Mr. Terrific was awesome. I can't wait for that show. I hate fake dreadlocks. This movie was so fucking boring. So bad, so boring, difficult to watch. I'm giving this movie 2.3 out of 10, arbitrarily, completely.
Okay. I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 10. I would say it is quite interesting as a vampire movie, and I love me some Robert Pattinson.
I like him too. I will say that. We'll end on that sort of a midway point. I agree. Peace out, y'all.